Interior defense, offensive boards, unselfish kickouts. On their own, these can start a run or even stem the tide. But together they can change a season, and all at once they can build a streak. With every win, another question is answered, and as players step up and rise to any challenge, victories come in all shapes and forms. Nail-biters, concerted team efforts, all-star performances. Each triumph is a notch in the belt and another step towards the top of the Eastern Conference. From road warriors to home court protectors, with key members injured, all hands are needed, because elite teams are far more than just the starting five. And on this path to success, everyone plays a role. You're competing hard and finding your identity, and in a couple of months the playoffs will be calling, and that's when you've got to answer the bell. Keep building.
Live from Toronto, Canada's newest sports and entertainment facility opens its doors for the first time to NBA basketball. Party on, game on. Welcome to the Air Canada Centre and an all-Canada showdown. And hello, everyone. I'm Rod Black, along with Leo Routens under beautiful sunshine in Toronto. But anybody who's a basketball fan today, Leo, does not want to be outside.
Absolutely, Rod. Last night, the Leafs, their home opener in Air Canada Centre, and today, the hottest ticket in the city for basketball.
The Raptors' old home, over there, the Sky Dome, let's be honest, hasn't really been conducive to basketball.
No, it hasn't, Rod. It's been very difficult for the Toronto Raptors. It's very cavernous, not much of a home court atmosphere like the Vancouver Grizzlies enjoy at GM Place. So finally, a home court for the Toronto Raptors.
And a great matchup today with their Canadian cousins.
That was February of 1999, if I remember correctly. I remember people walking into the arena and just looking all over the place and going, wow. It was kind of like our brand new toy, you know, on Christmas morning. We've opened up the wrapping and look at this is ours. It was so exciting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to Air Canada Centre as we embark upon a new era of Raptors basketball. Please welcome the starters for your Toronto Raptors!
Oakley, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. He does it again.
There's another alley-oop coming.
And again!
And even from the Raptors organization, I know there's some people that felt that this game today was one of the biggest games in their franchise's history, opening up the new arena.
And it was electric. It was like, okay, finally they're home. You know, all those years at Sky Dome, there was a terrible, terrible basketball venue. Maple Leaf Gardens was sort of rat-infested and old and beaten up. Finally, there was a sense that they had a house.
Such a different feel than being in Sky Dome back then. Sky Dome was just big and cavernous, and even though you had some great crowds over the years, to have your own arena where it's more intimate, you could just see this is going to be a great place to play.
Sky Dome was a dump, and they practiced up at a college at Yonge and Lawrence. Was a little place that they had to be off the floor at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because the intramural volleyball team came in. Absolute truth. Brendan Malone used to have to cancel practice at 1 o'clock regardless because intramural volleyball started. They didn't have a place.
The thing that I liked about moving from the Dome to this place was you're in a building. The Dome was a multi-purpose facility, and you shared it with the Argos and the Blue Jays, and you had a curtain up, and you know you were kind of relegated to a portion of the building. Whereas here, this is more like a home.
The Toronto Raptors, of course, tonight take on the Brooklyn Nets, and it's a 7-game homestand.
And this is a great opportunity for Toronto to really make some hay, get some separation in the Eastern Conference.
This 7-game home stretch We're at the cusp. We're right at the doorstep of game number 1. I would say this is very crucial because it gives us an opportunity to establish a couple things. Number 1, it gives us an opportunity to establish an identity as a team that takes care of business here at our home court.
It's huge right now. This is where you make the break. This is where we start the homestand, they're sitting in second. This is where you solidify your hold. You tell people it's tough to win in this building. If you're coming in here for the playoffs, you got to deal with this. You got to deal with us being at home. You have to deal with the crowd getting into it. This long homestand is just as tough as a long road trip, because you're looking for, on the road, you're looking for a 3-4 or 4-3. Well, the pressure's on here. You're looking for a 7-0, a 6-1, a 5-2.
This is a big one because when you look at 2 through 10, everybody's packed. You got a chance to finally get some separation. And that includes, Chicago's right on the Raptors' tail. If you can create a little bit of separation right now, then this could really, set the tone for the rest of the season.
Turnover ahead to T-Ross, taking flight in the T-dot. JV backing down on Lopez on a kick out, wide open. Lowry, good! Kyle Lowry connects. 10 in the quarter, 96-92. Toronto on top. Fans on their feet here as the Raptors win it 112-100 over the Brooklyn Nets and improve to 26-15. Look who's back in Toronto, one of the most beloved Raptors ever. Amir Johnson brings his Boston Celtics to the Air Canada Centre tonight against his old mates. Right now forming one of the best 1-2 punches in the NBA.
How does it feel to be back?
Feels good. To see my daughter, see everybody around in the arena. Feels good to be back.
Do you still keep tabs on these guys? Do you still look at box scores or watch games?
Yeah, absolutely. Still friends with all the guys on the team. Still talk to them. We still have our group text messages and everything, so I keep up with everybody.
Guys like Mo Pete, Alvin Williams have always been beloved by the city, but Amir is going to take the cake tonight. He's going to be the one that gets the loudest ovation, the loudest and longest ovation.
It's pretty unique, just to see the fans, have a player leave, and usually sometimes they don't show retired players and have a tribute like that. I thought it was pretty awesome, man. Almost had me a little teary-eyed a little bit. I thought it was cool.
On a handoff for DeMar. DeMar to Jay. He's got 34 points. DeRozan, an outstanding performance once again. The Toronto Raptors will win their 6th consecutive game, a season best, and Toronto will improve to 27-15. Now 2-0 against Boston. Toronto 19-8 in the Eastern Conference. Jack, they've won 9 of 11 at home.
Great win against a good young ball club, and there's Amir Johnson getting a lot of love from his former teammates, and
rightfully so.
He's a big part of why the Raptors are successful these last few years, laying the foundation.
No, I didn't know what to expect, but it was definitely awesome. Fans have been great to me throughout the years. It was pretty cool.
And you can still roll with Amir. He actually brought a lot of fans here tonight with the Celtics in town. Spent 6 seasons here, and as Rod Black said, he is beloved in this city of Toronto.
Hello, guys. Yay! That was awesome, man. You almost had me teary-eyed.
But I just want to thank you fans, man, for supporting me for the years I've been here.
I need to shout out.
And, I just really appreciate you guys. So I'm saying thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'm glad.
Sorry about that. How are we doing, bro?
Doing great. It's about you. It's not about me now.
Good comeback, by the way, from injury.
Thank you.
I gotta freak my kids out when they see this.
Yeah, sure. $20. $20. Excuse moi?
Did you step out? Yes,
Yeah. She's cheating, you see?
Yeah.
Don't make me look short.
That was a really good win last night.
6 in a row. That's a record, this year record, right?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
you got to pull this one tomorrow.
Yeah.
7 in a row.
Yeah.
That will be even better.
Kyle Lowry! All-Star! Kyle Lowry! Let's hear it for Kyle! And no doubt that DeMar next week will be voted in by the coaches. I mean, that's what I believe. Do you agree?
I agree. He don't have to.
You ain't gonna sweat it, are you?
He don't have to. Yeah. You win.
You're
happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Well, you know.
I'm happy for us.
Hey, I'm lost. I thought y'all want drinks.
I'm driving. Someone has to drive home.
What's that? Get?
Yeah.
Cat.
Get.
They're like cat.
Man, right. Game. I got too much game right.
One of the Raptors players. $1 million?
Oh yeah, all-star in the house, dude. How does it feel, man?
It feels amazing. I wouldn't be here without my teammates. I wouldn't be here without the fans. I wouldn't be here without the Raptors organization. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm happy. You know, 2 years in a row. So just represent for my.
And you don't even have to pack a bag.
Yeah, that's the good thing. I can sleep in my own bed. I have my own food, and I can walk everywhere.
Doing incredible.
It's about working. We got a game tomorrow. We have to prepare for a well-coached, a hard-playing team in the Miami Heat. So that's all I'm worried about. You know, All-Star is great. I'm excited for it to be a starter, but you know, now it's time to get back to work. You know, do this. You know, tonight have fun with the fans and my teammates. But we got to get back to work and still got a couple more games, a couple more weeks to prepare until All-Star.
I think Kyle's an all-star because he's the type of guy that he's a difference maker. You know, he's a guy who, you look at this Raptor team, if he's not doing what he does, this team is nowhere near where they would be right now. And I think that's what you take from Kyle. When he's playing at a high level, what he brings to the situation impacts so many different areas of the game that he has to be paid attention to. And I think a guy like that, who's not the biggest guy in terms of height, but continually makes plays, continually impacts the game so significantly, that makes you a very good player. And players on other teams understand how much he can do.
You know, he is really the engine. He's the pit bull of this team. He makes this team go. And it doesn't matter whether it's scoring, whether it's assisting, whether it's taking a charge. He always finds some way to get the Raptors going.
Kicks it up top to Lowry. Lowry has Winslow, takes him off the bounce to the rim. Just the way an all-star would do it.
if I talk about Kyle Lowry, the first thing I think about is competitive spirit. Fearless, tough, willing to take on bigger guys. I think what's interesting to me is you have two guys who need the ball and want the ball to be successful, and yet somehow DeMar and Kyle have figured out, it's like their skill sets, even though they both want the ball, have been able to sort of fit nicely together.
Lowry gives it now to DeMar, the three, good! DeMar DeRozan drills a three and an 8-0 run, 99-81. DeRozan 4 of 5 from range. He's got 33 and they're on their feet on a Friday night at the ACC. That's going to do it. 101-81. Raptors have won 7 in a row. Winslow is going to dribble it out. Miami's dropped now 4 straight and 7 of 8. And the Toronto Raptors have won 9 of 11, Leo. And they're now 28-15. They've won 7 consecutive. DeRozan with 33, Lowry with 15. Come on.
The reserves are selected by the coaches, choosing 7 players from their own conferences, and they cannot vote for their own players. They chose 2 backcourt, 3 frontcourt, and 2 wild cards.
If he's not selected, I mean, it'll be a travesty. I mean, the guy, there's no question in my mind that he not only deserves it, he's been it. I mean, there aren't a lot of better players in the Eastern Conference. There aren't a lot of better players in the NBA right now than DeMar DeRozan. So, the fact that fans didn't vote him in, I think that the coaches in this league are very bright men, and they know who the good players are, and they know who the good players on the winning teams are. That's DeMar DeRozan.
100% confident that DeMar DeRozan is going to be there, because DeMar DeRozan deserves to be there, and I think everybody understands around the NBA from a coaching perspective how important he is. So I think 100%, and I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that Kyle and DeMar, yes, they're the highest scoring backcourt in the Eastern Conference, but this is a team that's having success, and the more you win, the more you get noticed.
I am extremely confident. I am saying if DeMar does not have his name called, especially the way he's been playing these last couple of weeks, then there is something flawed with the system. We should have 2 Toronto Raptor players in that lineup come February 14th here at Air Canada Centre.
No, he's playing great. He'll be an all-star, and he's doing all this stuff. He's put in the work, though. Being in LA, a lot of those guys come back to LA and work out in our facility, and you see him. He's there early. He's one of those guys. There's a few guys, and I love seeing the young guys. They get there first. They get there early. They actually work on their games, and then they play in the pickup games afterwards. I don't know him well, but I'm happy for him because I love guys who work their way into being a great player.
But as a reserve, it's a pretty cool night. Because your peers select
the coach.
You've never been a reserve? Hell no.
Are you nervous? Say no. No. Is Daddy playing good enough to not be nervous? Huh? You know what my thought is? Wow. We've been a long ways. I was talking about it with him the other day, like, man. When I watch the starters and they show their projections, and to see him unanimous on everybody's list was like respectful for me. Like just to finally for him to get the respect I think he deserves. Because I think a lot of people sleep on him and don't really realize how great he is. Not just on the court, off the court, everything. So he's just grown so much. You know what I mean? Like it's just amazing. And not only has he grown, I think him growing as a dad has maybe been part of him growing on the court too. Because now he's like, I got somebody watching me. Because she knows if he misses a shot or...
Now time for the reserves as voted by the coaches in the East. Jimmy Butler with 22 a night. He had 7 30-point games in his first 4 years. He's had 7 already this year. DeMar DeRozan, little hometown. We got the hometown backcourt.
Who's that? Who's that? That's your daddy? Yay! Daddy made think you work hard in the off season and you work hard during the regular season. And I think this is even great because you've shown that you're getting the same respect from other teams. Like, coaches vote. Fans is great. You know what I mean? I think he got a lot of respect from the fans too. But, like, when you get it from, like, your peers as a coaching staff, like, that's big. Yeah, and it just shows, I think, people have seen how much he's progressed over the years.
Daddy right there.
Daddy right there.
1 on 3, 1, 2, 3.
DeMar DeRozan is now a two-time All-Star, joining Kyle Lowry.
Winning is a big part of the equation for me. And when I look at the Raptors and you're going, hey, you're second in the Eastern Conference and you're averaging 23 points a game, you're part of the highest scoring backcourt in the NBA. If you're not in the All-Star team and it's in Toronto, something is seriously wrong. So I did not think the NBA would make that mistake. And quite frankly, it's good for the league. The fact that you have two guys in Toronto, in the All-Star game in Toronto, and they both deserve to be here, that's great.
He's probably one of the most underrated players in the NBA, but he's definitely an all-star. And as the coach said this morning, he should have been named 3 times. This is only his second. He thinks he got robbed once.
I think he got robbed, but I think him getting robbed just was only motivation. Even last year, just him getting hurt. You know what I mean? I think he still should have made it when he was hurt because I think he still was averaging an insane, you know, and he might have missed 20 games, but he came back and was still the same. So, but I mean, I get it, and it just only motivates him. So if he ever gets snubbed in something, other teams should be really scared. You know what I mean? Because it's just motivating him to be that much greater.
JV sets his screen, whips it over now to DeRozan. The three, good! Rack it up. DeMar DeRozan delivers it from Ajax. DeRozan shooting a career-high 32% from 3. And the reverse by the two-time All-Star.
And that's what I love a lot more than the 3 for DeMar. Just getting inside and scoring in the paint.
He'll tell you, you know, when we first were in college, I remember someone telling me, like, yeah, he's going to go to the NBA. He's so good. I remember sitting telling my dad, like, everyone says he's supposed to be, like, really. I'm like, he's okay. I mean, like, is he really hurt? And now, look, he can just rub it in my face. Look at him. He's a 2-time All-Star. So it's just, it's crazy. Some people are never an All-Star. So to see him do it twice, it's like, I'm so proud of him.
And the Toronto Raptors are going to come away with a victory here. 10 in a row. The Toronto Raptors come away with the win, 103-93. They've won now 10 consecutive, a franchise record. First time in team history, the Raptors have won 10 consecutive games, led by their 2 All-Stars in Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. And Jose Calderon embracing the 2-time All-Star DeMar DeRozan, his former teammate. And the Raptors victorious here on this night.
Oh my gosh. Like, how great is that? Like, in your own city. I didn't even know coming in, like, when he first got drafted, I couldn't even imagine All-Star being in Toronto. And now I'm just like, it's got to be the greatest feeling to play at home. I can only imagine how it was, like, that playoffs series versus Brooklyn, and when it was so crazy. I can only imagine how the fans are going to do to see Kyle and DeMar both here just wearing that Toronto. You know what I mean? Like, in Toronto, it has to be the best thing in the world.